Hello everyone, welcome to Fatty's Feast, where we make the best food you'll ever eat without leaving your backyard. My name is Josh, and today we are whipping up a Big Mac in the form of a quesadilla on the Blackstone griddle. All right, so the first thing you have to do for this recipe is you need to make a sauce. Now, a lot of people have this idea that Big Mac sauce is just Thousand Island dressing. And yeah, I mean, you could use that, but realistically, Big Mac sauce is a little bit more tangy than Thousand Island, so it's better to make your own, and it only takes 5 minutes. So for this sauce, I used a ½ cup of mayonnaise as a base. Oh, that's hot. About 2 to 3 tablespoons of ketchup. You can use French dressing also. French dressing is actually a little bit better. About 4 teaspoons of sweet pickle relish. Some people like to use dill. I use sweet because you're gonna put dill on the burger itself, so I like that contrast. About a tablespoon or 2 of onion powder. You can use finely minced white onion also, but onion powder works just as well. About a teaspoon of white vinegar, about a teaspoon of sugar, about a teaspoon of salt, and lastly, the secret ingredient, about a teaspoon of paprika. I don't know if they actually use paprika in Big Mac sauce, but it gives a little bit of a smoky kick that I like. Mix it all together until it looks like so, and throw it in your fridge. Now, this sauce has been sitting in my fridge for about a day. You don't have to make it a day before. I have found, though, with this sauce, you definitely want to make it in advance. I would say no less than 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours in advance, because it doesn't taste like Big Mac sauce right away. You're gonna taste it and be like, well, that's not Big Mac sauce. But once you let the flavors mend together, it gets better. And the longer you let them set, the better it's gonna be. So I'm curious. It did not taste like that yesterday. I know that's not believable, but it is what it is. Just believe me. All right, now for the fun part. Oil down on the medium side. I got these 2 burners on a medium heat. I have a shit ton of minced onion here. You don't need this much onion for one quesadilla. I'm just doing a little bit of meal prep. Let's get down some salt, some pepper, and a nice hunk of butter. Now I'm just gonna let these saute down a little bit. I'm not cooking them down all the way because we're just gonna mix them in with the burger. This right here is about 2½ medium-sized sweet onions. This side, high heat, smoking nicely. 2 1/3 pounds ground beef. Just gonna break this up. This is 80/20 ground beef, the only ground beef you should buy. Lots of salt, lots of pepper, and lots of garlic powder. Give this a nice stir. It's already starting to brown up. So I guess the equation is a ½ pound of beef and a ½ pound of onion. We'll go with that. Just want to make sure this is all nice and incorporated together. Onions are looking good. They're coming along real nice very quickly. Look at that. It smells delicious. You can see all that fat's dripping down into the onions. It's going to add to the flavor of this. Just a quick side note. You don't really think of ground beef being a very fatty meat, but it is, and grease is splattering all over me. That's why it's very important to get one of these bad boys. It protects you from getting all greasy and your clothes stinking like ground beef for the rest of the day. I'll put a link to one similar to this in the description, so if you're interested, maybe one day I'll have one that says Fatty's Feast. I don't know, we'll see. All right, this is looking like it's coming along. We got some browning, some pieces still raw, not a big deal. Let's throw all this together. And now that we have a nice sear, I'm just gonna move it over to the medium side. I'll turn this side down to low. And I'm just gonna spread this out so we make sure we have even cooking. Now here's a weird one for you. I'm gonna throw down some pickles. I'm just gonna chop these up a little bit, get them a little toasty. I'm not gonna mix these in or anything. Just like a little crisp, like almost a relish consistency. Could you use relish? Absolutely. But let's make it hot, you know? I'm gonna throw down 2 tortillas. Just gonna warm them up on one side and then flip them. Good enough. Throw down our cheese. We're using cheddar. I'll take my pickles first. Nice even spread on each. Let's try not to mix it in because I don't want a bunch of pickle in my ground beef, at least for storing purposes. Now we can take some of this, just throw it right on. That looks good. Then press it down. that one's a beefy one. And we'll just give those a little bit of time. Turn my heat off. Let's flip them over. I'm gonna throw down a little bed of lettuce. And I'm only gonna eat one of these. Remove that plate and I'm gonna cut into this. Let's see what we got. Oh, looks delicious. And let's not forget our sauce. Just do a little spread here. You could do it in a squirt bottle, but the relish tends to get stuck in my opinion. That's why I never do that. All right, let's try this bad boy out. Oh God, it's so greasy. I love it. You'll notice I didn't add any butter when I put the tortillas down. It didn't need it. There was enough grease from the burger that I didn't think we needed it. And I also didn't put lettuce in the quesadilla. You could. I sort of like just eating it separate. So I don't like it to get like all warm and soggy and shit. A couple of the lettuce, it tastes just like a Big Mac. Like, it's unreal. Probably should have cut that up a little better. Well, this is really good, guys. I would make this yourself. You know, if you've ever been looking for a copy, excuse me, my nose is running. If you've ever been looking for a copycat Big Mac recipe, I'm going to make one at some point. I'll put a link here when I do. But this is a nice little take on it. You know, cutting out the you're not really cutting out carbs, but you're cutting down the carbs a little bit. So anyway, I hope you liked what you saw today. If you did, please smash that like button. It means a lot. It gets this content out to more people. If you want to check out one of our other many videos we have here, click right here. And if you want to check out more of the Griddle Beef series, playlist is right here. Feel free to play all of them. And then if you really love me, you can subscribe right here. Thanks for watching. I hope you all stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tummy.